Hello YouTube! Runescape Dragonwilds has just released a new patch 0.7.2, and it's fixed a lot of annoying events that have been occurring so far. You know how the dragon Velgar spits on you like every 30 minutes? Not even 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes? Well, that's been fixed, so stay tuned and I'll let you guys know all about it. By the way, if you guys want to read it yourself, you can find it in the Steam patch notes for Runescape Dragonwild. So yeah, that's where I'm getting this info from. But anyways, first little change. The Goblin raid parties have finally been nerfed. Instead of every 2 in-game days, it'll be every 4 in-game days. So essentially you'll get half the amount of Goblin raids. And there's actually a handful of these raids with different party compositions. But they average out to like 4 days now. It's going to be half as common. I'm really glad this is happening because they were really starting to get annoying. Like whenever I'd be back in my base doing something or just trying not to fight, they just show up. Like come on man, like give me a breath. Give me some time to like just chill. I get it if the goblins actually drop something useful, but the goblin packs, they don't give you anything. Like they just give you a bunch of runes and rune essences when they aren't really that rare either. And they're pretty abundant, so I didn't really see the point. I'm glad they changed it. So we're still on the topic of raids, but now it's base raids. So the grace period increased from 9 in-game days to 12 in-game days before a raid can happen. So essentially 33% increase in the grace period. Also the chances for it to actually occur have halved. So it decreased from 10% to 5% every event tick. I'm not sure what every event tick means, but probably a good thing. And also the cooldown increased from 2 days to 3.75 days, which I'm assuming once it does happen after the now 12-day grace period, instead of another one possibly happening within 2 days, it's now 3.75 days, which is basically double. So I know I kind of just threw numbers at you, so let me just give you a scenario, okay? So previously, you had a grace period of 9 days. And then once those 9 days are over, you had a 10% chance to trigger a raid, okay? If that raid did trigger on that 10%, and you finished the raid, another one could trigger within 2 days. So instead, you essentially get another 2-day grace period before another one can happen. But now, you have the initial 12-day grace period, right? And then now, after that period, you have a 5% chance to trigger a raid. And after it is triggered and you complete it, the cooldown has increased by 1.75 days. So instead of 2 days, you have another 3.75 day grace period. And I'm pretty sure the initial 9 to 12 day period is when you first start the game. So like when you first boot it up, create your very first world, right? They give you some extra time to get ready, get set up, all that stuff. The next change is the hunted events. So you know when you get that little pop-up on the screen saying you are being hunted, and either a bunch of Garo hunters, a bunch of goblins, I don't know, they start chasing you. And the chance for that to occur has been halved. So instead of 10% chance of that occurring, it's a 5% chance now. And once again, it's every event tick. Not sure exactly what this means, but I feel like in-game, like every 10 minutes or something, or every 20-30 minutes, there's an event tick. I feel like it's just a period of time where you could possibly get an event, and if it does trigger, it triggers. But anyways, it's been halved. Also, the cooldown has increased. It's basically been doubled. It's now 2.25 days instead of 1 day. So if it does occur, you have double the grace period, I guess. Now, I finally want to get to talk about my favorite change, which is the Velgar nerf. So you know how he like spits poison on you periodically, and it's really annoying. Even after you've defeated him, it still happens. Well now, his meteor barrages have reduced from 5 to 2 per meteor event, addressing the drift towards tedium as this event outstays its welcome. So I'm assuming that now there's only 2 meteors instead of 5. Well, 2 barrages instead of 5, so it's been more than halved. And also the poison breath event is now only poison breath strafing runs. So Velgar can either do, you know, that long line of poison that happens once, or it can do that plus the, you know, the strafing, the meteors that drop down in like barrages. Well, now it's only the strafing runs, which I believe refers to the drop events. So he's probably not going to do the breath. But honestly, the strafing runs was the annoying part, for me at least. But hey, at least it's only 2 barrages now instead of 5. Now that's mostly the major updates that I thought were the most important, but there's also some other small ones. And one of them is that the related frequency and intensity of Velgar events and multiple events should not trigger simultaneously anymore. So like Velgar and his Goblin companions, they should give you some more breathing room. They're not going to both happen at the same time. You won't be raided by goblins and also attacked by Velgar. You won't be hunted by goblins and also attacked by Velgar. You know what I'm saying. Quests awarding non-quest items cannot be properly completed even if your inventory is full. Personally, I haven't encountered that issue, but if you have, I guess this is a great fix. I think another quality of life change is that all spells should now have a description within the spell wheel. Majority of them did have them before, but I feel like some of them were glitched a little bit and weren't really that clear, but now they got updated descriptions and all of the spells should have them. Ooh, and the next one is a good one. Hostile AI is no longer immune to bleed, except for Vault Guardians, who can't bleed because, well, what would they bleed? Blood runes? I read that straight from the patch notes, but now AI, I don't know, because personally, with the Abyssal Whip, there is a bleed effect, but maybe it wasn't taking effect before. I never really noticed, because I don't know what the bleed effect's supposed to look like, so maybe when using the Abyssal Whip before it didn't show up, but now it should show up. Except on the Vault Guardians, because they're rocks. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is that the devs have adjusted the XP balancing around purifying water. So previously, just by purifying, you know, you pick up some dirty water, you cook it on the pot, you turn it to clean water, it used to give you so much XP, but now it seems like they've nerfed it. So no more abusing that. You can't max out your cooking skill just by cooking water. I assume you're gonna actually have to put in some work and cook some cool items now to gain XP. It was fun while it lasted. I didn't really abuse it because I never really needed water that much, so I didn't really find any reason to. But yeah, that's mostly everything I wanted to talk about from patch 0.7.2. Once again, if you guys want the full patch notes, you can find it on the Steam page. And thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed this content. I mainly post Palworld, but Dragonwilds just came out. Seems like a fun game, so I wanted to cover it a little bit more before going back to Palworld. Those of you that are subscribed to me, Palworld videos are coming soon. Don't worry, I'm never gonna quit that game. But yeah, have a great, amazing week.